let's say that, I'm having a match like with Jake, and, I keep sliding out of the ring and, leaving and rolling back in to break the count, and then, and then basically, and maybe just even walking away, and they count me out. So Jake wins, but he wins by what? By default, right?
Mhm.
So Jake then will come back and he says, okay, DiBiase, you ran last time like a dog. He says, but this time you're not going to be able to run because there's going to be a cage up around the ring. And of course, being the heel that I am, I rant and rave and throw a fit about that because that's the last thing I want, right? And so there's that gives you an idea, and then I would just roll with that. And anyway.
And week to week, yeah, you can make that part of your story and part of your promos. And what else is cool, for me as I go back and watch all of your footage for research and stuff. It's interesting because I grew up on the $1 Million Man like so many other fans, and
Yeah.
I got to see you as everybody calls it, a chicken shit heel, where it's like
Yeah.
you're begging off, and I saw that version of Ted DiBiase. Now, as I'm getting to watch your stuff in Georgia and Mid-South, I'm like, so Ted wasn't always the chicken shit heel. Sometimes you were the badass heel, and it was pretty fun stuff.
But here's the thing: when you're the chicken shit heel, it never ends. It's like the people never get tired of seeing somebody kick your ass.
Mhm.
Because, well, that's just it. It's kind of like a bully. That's what I was. I was like a bully. It's like I told my boys when they were very young. I said, "You're going to run into people in life." And he says, "You're going to." And I said, 99% of all the bullies you see are cowards.
Yep.
And he says they talk real big, but if you go ahead and confront them and tell them, "Okay, you know what? You want a piece of me? Let's go." Then they start backing down because they really don't want to go. They just want to appear to be what they are. And so, and it's like, and my dad said that too. He says, and he said, "Son, here's the deal. If, a lot of times they'll just back down. If they don't back down and you get in a fight, you'll either win the fight or you might get your butt kicked." He says, "But that bully's never going to bother you again." And I said, "Why?" He says, "Because he knows you're willing to fight."
Yep.
There it is.
But it is funny, because and I think you've talked about this before on the show where you said like the chicken shit heel, nobody's ever gonna like a chicken shit heel. They're always gonna be a heel. Nobody wants to root for that guy. But when you're a badass heel, it's like I saw that promo where you were talking to Tommy Rich about being Mr. R, and you said, "Not only am I gonna take that mask off, I'm gonna take your head off with it." When I heard that line, I was like, that's a pretty cool line. Like, I like this guy. I don't care that he's mean. He's fun, and that's how like Stone Cold got over. So yeah, it's interesting.
Well, and that's the deal. And like Stone Cold was. I mean, he was a kick-ass heel.
Mm-hmm.
But again, if you're a kick-ass, this is the truth. If you're a kick-ass heel, ultimately you're going to be a babyface because everybody loves a tough guy. Everybody loves somebody who stands up for what they believe and doesn't back down from anything. And so, you might start off being a bully, but again, if you're the chicken shit heel, then like nobody gets tired of seeing that guy get his ass kicked. But when you're like the Stone Cold, kind of heel, like you talk big and you back it up. Well, that again, and what happened to Stone Cold? Eventually, the fans turned him babyface.
Yep.
So
the fans will never turn you if you're being a coward and backing off all the time.
No.
I like it. Alex,
and that's the best kind of heel to be. It really is.
I absolutely agree. Well, Stone Cold made an awful lot of money after being the badass heel, but I don't think he was ever really a heel to begin with. If you kind of look back at it, kind of like Jake, where like Jake was a badass heel. The fans turned him, but when he was a babyface, he was still doing heel shit, like pulling a snake out of a bag and degrading a guy after you beat him is a pretty heel move, but he did it all the time.
Yeah, but by that time he had endeared himself to the crowd.
Yep.
Now the fans were wanting to see him put the snake on somebody. Put the snake on that heel.